Hello and welcome back to Her Becoming. I am your host, Kayla Countryman, and I am really excited about today's episode. Maybe I say that every week, but I genuinely love recording these episodes for you all. And today I really get to step into my business coaching persona, which, if you don't know, I share my story in the first episode of this podcast, but I originally started my business as a social media manager, which turned into me being a business coach for women entrepreneurs and women-owned small businesses. So today I get the pleasure of putting that hat back on, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can actually take action to start sharing your gifts and stepping into what you feel you are meant to do in this life. So on last week's episode, we talked about using your voice during a global crisis and how it can feel debilitating to pursue your work, your soul work, when it doesn't feel as important, when our hearts are breaking based on what we're witnessing in this world. And I encouraged you to reframe that because our gift is our medicine and our voice is healing not only for ourselves, but for the people around us and for the entire collective. So in today's episode, I really want to walk you through 3 steps you can take to start taking action towards sharing your gift, towards using your voice, towards pursuing the idea, whatever it is. I want to get you motivated and get you moving towards it. So if you have an idea on your heart or you feel called to create something, I know how overwhelming it can feel not knowing where to start. I'm going to give you those 3 action steps you can take to get into motion because we know that an object in motion stays in motion. Oftentimes, when we're faced with an idea or a calling and we can feel it in our heart, our chest, it can feel overwhelming because we simply don't know where to start. But the second we take action, we get rolling. We get into that motion. And a lot of people have it backwards. People think that we need to sit and wait for clarity, and then clarity is going to one day magically arrive, and then we can take action. But you've got to flip that script. It's actually action that creates the clarity. Even if it's an action that doesn't seem like it's exactly tied to what you want to do, taking that first step is going to help you arrive at the clarity that you're looking for. So in this episode, I'm encouraging you to start. And I'm giving you 3 places that you can start. Another thing people have backwards often is they think that the reading and the researching is more important than the doing. I am here to tell you and to remind you that in most cases, you will learn so much more by that messy action, by figuring it out and finding the clarity as you go, than by researching, reading, and waiting. Obviously, this isn't true for all careers. Like, I'm not out here encouraging doctors to just go learn by trial. But for most of us who are pursuing these callings and starting these passion projects, we really need to take action. And we also really need to understand that there's no perfect time. There's no right time. If there was, it would just be now. So let's get to it. So this episode is for you if you have an idea in mind. Maybe it's something that you've been putting off for a while, or maybe it's an idea that's just been tugging at your heart on an ongoing basis. But you're clear that you want to serve, you want to create something, you want to do something, even if you're not sure fully what that's going to look like, but you just need a push from ideation into action. That's who this episode is for. If you have no idea what your gift is, you are like, Kayla, I don't even know what I'm meant to do, or I don't even have an inkling into what that could look like for me, then I encourage you to go back and listen to episode 3. Episode 3 of this podcast is essentially a masterclass in helping you identify your gifts and uncover your purpose. So think of that episode as setting a foundation, and then you can come back to this one. But again, if you already have some sort of idea, or at least you sort of know what you want to pursue, this episode is the one for you. So without further ado, let's dive into 3 steps you can take to start sharing your gifts immediately. Like this week, you can start taking these actions. Step number 1 is identify and define the purpose of your work. The question I want you to ask yourself in this step, or questions I should say, are why does this matter to me? And who am I here to help? You want to identify who it is that you want to serve and support, and why that demographic matters to you. It's really important to have a connection to the demographic that you serve. Maybe you want to support people who are in a season that you've been in before. Maybe you feel called to support a specific community because you have experience with something that they are going through as a collective. No matter what you are doing, whether you're offering a product or providing a service or even creating a blog or writing a book, you need to get clear on who you are here to help or to guide or to serve. Along with that is understanding the transformation that you are hoping to create in the lives of others. Just this one thing alone, I could spend an entire masterclass on. The too long didn't read of understanding the transformation is just being very clear on how you want to help. I'll give you an example using different types of gifts and how you can turn that gift into providing a transformation. So, say you are a coach or you want to become a coach. Instead of just positioning yourself as a coach, you can position yourself as a health coach for women who are struggling with hormonal balance and want to improve their mood, clear their skin, and get their energy back. Do you see how that shift, understanding who you're serving and how you're going to help them, gives you so much clarity and also deepens the connection in your work? Of course, if you're trying to become a health coach, you'll want to get that certification. You can totally DM me about that. I just finished my health coach certification myself. But the point there is just to help you understand that what you're trying to do does need to be specified into who you're serving and the end result you're looking to help them achieve. Another one, if you're interested in becoming or deepening your practice as a facilitator or a guide, instead of just hanging out in that broad area, you could position yourself as a wellness facilitator, helping bring stress relief to nonprofit companies through yoga and meditation. So maybe you're a yoga teacher or meditation guide already, and this is something that you can provide to nonprofit companies and create corporate wellness or workplace wellness services and really monetize that gift that you already are pursuing. Again, getting specific about the demographic and understanding the transformation, in this case, stress relief for that group. And then the last example I'll give you is for people who are selling a product. Oftentimes people think that these types of prompts don't apply to you if you're selling a product. It doesn't, who it's for or the transformation, but it really does matter because even if you're selling a product, there's still a transformation involved. The example I'll give you is if you are someone that sells jewelry, deepening that through saying, and this is just an example, selling jewelry inspired by nature to help women reconnect with their inner wisdom. Like that sounds so much sexier than just buy my jewelry. If someone were selling jewelry to me and told me that it was inspired by nature and had the intention to help women reconnect with their inner wisdom, I'm sold. And the reason this is important is because people buy a product because of the identity that it provides for them and because of the emotions and the feelings it gives, not because of the product itself. We see something and we want it because we want the feeling that we think we're going to have when we wear that thing or when we use that thing. How do you want your customers to feel? That's the transformation. That's the question that you want to be asking yourself. Another part in this first step of identifying and defining the purpose of your work is identifying why this offering or this vision matters right now in this current world. So going back to last week's episode about using your voice in times of global crisis, what is your work, your magic, your medicine? What is it going to do for the world right now? Again, we know that we as one person cannot change the entire world, but we can change the world around us, one person at a time. And so how does the work that you want to do contribute to that unique healing? The reason that this step is important is because so many people skip clarifying the why behind their work. But the why is so important. It is exactly where you should begin because starting with purpose will center you in service and in connection. And no matter what you are exploring, no matter what you are creating, service and connection are at the root of it. Step 2. Step 2 is to gather inspiration and clarify your voice. So the question that you're asking yourself here is, what's possible and how will I make it my own? The action correlated with step 2, that again, you can do this like right after you listen to this podcast episode. Make a list of 10 people who do similar work to what you are trying to do. Identify what resonates with you about them, what stands out, and most importantly, how will you be different? A very important note here is this exercise is not meant to copy people, to replicate what someone else is doing, or to create something that's just like someone else. It's solely for you to see what's possible, to see what already exists out there, and then to understand what makes you unique. You can go on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, YouTube, blogs, really anywhere in the online space, or look around you in real life and see who's doing similar things. Really understand what resonates about their energy, their values, their voice, or the brand that they've created. And then from there, you can identify what feels different about what you want to do. What is we call this your unique value proposition or your unique selling proposition in marketing and sales. Your story, your perspective. Because the reality is, if you are going to do something, whether it's writing a book, starting a blog, creating a community, building a membership, launching a coaching service, so many people do all of those things. You have to understand what is going to make you different and make you unique in order to move forward and do it in a way that's actually aligned with your unique gifts. Because what you have to offer is different than what anyone else in this world can offer. The reason you're having this calling is because it belongs to you. It has to be created through you. You are the only person that can bring it to life. No pressure. But it's true. So what is going to make it unique? The reason that this step is important is because when we're early on in our process of creating, comparison can really cause inaction. It can cause us to pause, cause imposter syndrome, cause us to feel like we're just not enough or we don't have what it takes. But if you reframe this into research, then it becomes fuel. You can use what's already out there as evidence that your vision is valid and then make it your own from that. Step 3, arguably the most important step and something you should absolutely do immediately this week. Embody the version of you who is already doing the thing. Whatever the calling is, whatever the gift is, whatever the business idea is, embody the version of you who is already living that life in executing the thing. This goes back to there being no perfect time for you to begin, and the fact that you already have everything that you need. Nothing is missing. That's a mantra that I love to say to myself when I feel like I need another certification or more equipment or another tool to get started. I remind myself, actually, no, nothing is missing. I have everything that I need to step forward. And so the action with this step is to write out the day, start to finish. I'm talking hour by hour of the version of you who has built this and lives in this life that you're dreaming of. Getting into the nitty-gritty, what time does she wake up? What does she do when she wakes up? What is the gift or the business or the thing she works on throughout the day? Who does she work with? How does she feel? What are the emotions, the feelings throughout the day? What is she eating for her meals? Who is she meeting up with? Who is she calling? How does she spend her free time? This should be long. Like start to finish, I really want you to map out an ideal day of the version of you in this life. After you complete this exercise, then you start to identify what habits can you start doing now? What parts of that version of you, what parts of their routine can you start to adopt now? This is going to show you that you are not so far away from that version because guess what? You can start waking up earlier if that's what she does. You can start dabbling in Canva and playing around with content if she's a content creator or a business owner. You can start sticking to a morning routine. You can create a morning routine. You can move your body more. You can start saving money or investing money. You can write daily, even if it's just pen to paper. Even if you have a 9-to-5 or some sort of full-time job that you think interferes with you being able to take action, this is going to prove to you you can still move forward. You can still make small shifts without completely pivoting your life all at once. Take me, for example. I have a 9-to-5, girlies. I have a 9-to-5. I just finished a year of school. My life just blew up. And I have this podcast, this business, going to be taking clients soon. You can make the time if you prioritize it and if you approach it from the lens of becoming that version of yourself now. If you continue to wait, it's not going to happen. If I would have waited for the perfect time to launch this podcast, there would be no podcast. There would be no brand. There would be no episodes on Tuesdays. It's because I made a choice to prioritize this, to shift my habits, to use self-discipline as an act of self-love to be here recording right now. You think I wanted to record right now? I'm actually catching a flight in a couple hours. Self-discipline and identifying the habits that you need to create. In addition to identifying those habits, you also need to identify what needs to shift about your current life to line up with this version of you. Is it the people that you spend time with? Is it how you're spending your time? Is it the amount of time you're spending on social media or watching TV or doing things that you know are out of alignment with this version of you that you are wanting to become? The reason that this step of embodiment is so important is because a lot of people have the ideas, but do not move into action. This step makes the dream tangible, not just aspirational, and it is going to force you to slowly become that version. She's already within you. This is what this entire podcast is about. The person you are becoming exists within inside of you. You just have to start showing up as her. It's really as simple as that. You don't need to change your whole life. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars. You don't need to get some fancy certification. You need to start shifting your habits, speaking to yourself differently, surrounding yourself with different people, and showing up as the person that you want to be today. Like, start today. Deal? So, to wrap up these steps, you need to understand your intention and your audience. Who are you serving and why? The most important questions you can ask yourself in this starting phase. Then you need to outline what makes you different based on what's already out there. Do your research and use it as fuel to help move you forward. And last but most importantly, you need to start embodying that version now. You need to write out that day start to finish and highlight what can you do now, even though you're busy, even though you're overwhelmed, even though you have a million things on your plate. What are a few things, even if it's just drink more water, that you can start doing today to embody that version? I want you to commit to these 3 steps. I want you to commit to at least one of these steps. If all 3 feels overwhelming, that's okay. Pick one. And I want you to message me. If you listen to this and you feel fired up and you're ready to step into action and to stop waiting for the right time, message me. Tell me what you took away from this and share with me what you're going to be building or starting. I'd love to send you a pep talk. I'd love to hear about it. Okay. That's all for today. If you have questions around this topic, it's one that we will definitely continue to explore. So questions are so welcome, ideas, feedback, all the things. As always, thank you for being here. Send this to someone. Send this to someone who you know has an idea on their heart that they haven't executed yet. Send this to them with a motivational message about how you believe they are capable and that they should take action this week. All right. I will see you in the next episode. And until then, be well.